Episode 56 VY July 18th, 2024 dive, and let's pass the finish line first. In episode 56 VY, one running for office could be like taking a deep dive in the Biden administration policies that protect the environment. Two United States Drax has left communities crying out that they are sacrifice zones, and California communities are right to be concerned that they could be next. PM2.5 and Black Americans. 3 California and Gloster, Mississippi, National Resources Defense Council. In our DC article, GSNR-Drax will disrupt quality of life and sicken communities. Drax wood burning plant coming for California forests by partnering with Golden State Natural Resources. GSNR would burn for electricity or in cogenerating facilities. Burning wood pellets causes more climate pollution than coal when burned. For California, Coronado Beach. RAWSEP view in California, solar stoves and stoves running on batteries could cook food better than wood. Burning fires, the only food reliably heated by wood. Fires is melted marshmallows, not worth fighting for folks. This policy allowing wood burning fires was not implemented to protect human health, but was implemented despite the numerous scientific, medical, and statistical studies that show that wood burning emits health-denying PM2.5 particulate matter of 2.5 micrometer size. 5 Idaho Bench Lake Fire, estimated to have grown to 1,275 acres. 6 Idaho Online maps show exactly where Idaho wildfire smoke is from. 7 New York Air Quality Health Advisory issued for New York City Metro and Lower Hudson Valley. 8 Texas San Antonio. RAWSEP view the source of the pollution was a commercial wood burning grill. The near neighbors wouldn't have complained if they didn't experience the adverse health effects of breathing in wood smoke. PM2.5 instead of clean air, etc. 9 Utah Antelope Island, placed under stage 2 fire restriction as Utah continues to burn. 10 Vermont Letters to the editor, July 17, 2024. 7 days, it is implied that wood burning is clean because it is theoretically renewable. When will we wake up to the fact that burning wood pollutes our air? A resident of Calais Vermont. 11 Australia Perth Bushfire smoke triggers surge in Perth Hospital Visits. 12 Ireland burning coal peat and wood is associated with poorer mental health. ESRI finds. 13 United Kingdom Birmingham Fire breaks out at Birmingham Industrial Park near Fort Dunlop. 14 Pakistan PM2.5 and infants report unveils air pollutions toll on infants. 15 PM2.5 and COPD air pollution and ECOPT higher pollutant levels linked to Exacerbation Onset Pulmonology Advisor. 16 PM2.5 and cerebral palsy prenatal find particulate matter exposure linked to Cerebral Palsy Neurology Advisor. 17 PM2.5 and lupus greater risk of systemic lupus erythematosus with long-term air pollution exposure. Main content. One running for office could be like taking a deep dive in the Biden administration policies that protect the environment. Passing the swimming goggles to new divers is a metaphor I am comfortable with passing the torch in. This already too hot world is not a great metaphor for tackling the problems of the future. Someone who has crafted the policies that protect the environment is like a deep sea diver who can guide new divers to the treasure that is untapped beneath the sea. Metaphorically, the gargantuan administration structure of the Inflation Reduction Act is untapped, just as the precious minerals that could help drive new computers and battery storage facilities that can bring wind and solar energy to people around the world who need it to heat and cool their homes. The cleanest and least harmful way to people's health are now used at the bottom of the sea. There are divers ready to bring to the surface the ideas that can give us hope for the future, and ideas, methods, and materials that already exist that are untapped. 2 United States PM2.5 and Black Americans. Drax has left communities crying out that they are sacrifice zones, and California communities are right to be concerned that they could be next. More Black Americans die from effects of air pollution. Study shows Medical Express particulate matter referred to as PM2.5 because it includes particles less than 2.5 micrometers in diameter. These particles are small enough to 3 California and Gloster, Mississippi, National Resources Defense Council. In our DC article, GSNR-Drax will disrupt quality of life and sicken communities. Drax wood burning plant coming for California forests by partnering with Golden State Natural Resources. GSNR would burn for electricity or in cogenerating facilities. Burning wood pellets causes more climate pollution than coal when burned. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates. A 501c3 nonprofit organization, RAWSEP, has reordered the article and put human health first on the list of what wood burning and wood burning pellet production by DRAX will do to human communities. From the article, GSNR-Drax will disrupt quality of life and sicken communities. Drax-owned wood pellet production facilities in the U.S. Southeast and Canada bring dust, 24/7 noise, and other negative impacts, including the perpetuation of decades of disproportionate environmental impacts on poor and rural communities. In April 2021, regulators fined Drax $2.5 million over serious air quality breaches at its pellet mill in Gloster, Mississippi. GSNR hopes to build its industrial-scale pellet mills in California's Tuolumne and Lassen counties, and the air pollution from these mills will compound the existing health inequalities that those communities already face. Tuolumne County currently has a higher than average pollution burden, high rates of asthma and cardiovascular disease, and a high poverty rate according to CalEnviroscreen 4.0 indicator maps data. The production of pellets releases vast amounts of sawdust and other harmful particulates that impact air quality and stand to sicken California's rural communities. Burning wood pellets causes more climate pollution than coal when burned. After signing a Memorandum of Agreement MOU in February 2024, it is transparent that GSNR's aims are solely profit-driven. July 16, 2024, Drax operates 18 wood pellet plants across the United States and Canada, exporting the product to utilities worldwide, including its own in the United Kingdom, where the pellets are eventually burned for electricity or in cogenerating facilities. Burning wood pellets causes more climate pollution than coal when burned. For example, Drax's burning of wood pellets back home in the United Kingdom emitted 11.4 metric tons of CO2 in 2023. In 2022, Drax topped the list as the UK power sector's single largest CO2 emitter. GSNR is promoting the pellet mills as a way of preventing wildfires, but this new relationship with the UK's number one climate polluter seriously questions those aims. Drax's climate pollution record is concerning enough that the S&P Dow Jones Indices delisted Drax from its Global Clean Energy Index in 2021 over concerns about Drax's environmental performance, and the financial firm Jefferies told its clients that bioenergy is unlikely to make a positive contribution toward tackling the climate crisis. Again, Governor Newsom has made it clear that climate change is the cause behind harmful wildfires on top of the climate pollution. GSNR's agreement with the UK energy giant Drax poses 3 primary problems for California's rural communities. RAWSEP notes that health effects on human communities was already addressed by reordering that problem at the top of this excerpted article. Communities with export terminals suffer too. Many residents living next to a wood pellet storage dome in Wilmington, North Carolina say that sawdust blankets their homes, cars, and pets daily. After living with this dust for 8 years, the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality finally forced the pellet export terminal to Install fugitive dust controls. Communities living around GSNR-Drax's proposed export terminal in Stockton, California, are some of the most disadvantaged in the state considering poor air quality, low income, and poor health indicators. Drax has left communities crying out that they are sacrifice zones, and California communities are right to be concerned that they could be next. California considers itself an environmental and climate leader in the face of a new industry that acts with impunity. California should shut the door to GSNR-Drax's proposed developments. GSNR-Drax will not lessen pile burning. GSNR promises to reduce the number of // burn piles, yet this promise has not panned out in other communities with established pellet mills. A 2023 investigation on Drax wood pellet mills in Canada found that pile burns continue as much as before and air quality has not improved. Piles are still a fixture and health hazard, and there's no waste diversion as promised. Industrial-scale pellet facilities require clean, uncontaminated material to meet international utility-scale power and cogeneration specifications standards. Typical / burn piles are contaminated with other forms of waste and cannot meet those strict criteria. The industry's documents and research reflect that almost 90% of its feedstock comes from the main stems of trees or sawdust otherwise used for products, which also debunks GSNR's claims that it will alleviate pile burning or its impacts. Drax is the second biggest wood pellet producer in the world. The scale of its operations shifts economic incentives away from forest management based on the best available science toward management that is based on maximizing logging trees for its product, considering the time and effort needed to protect communities from destructive wildfires in California. If the GSNR-Drax partnership is a serious distraction, GSNR-Drax will not provide good paying jobs or economic development. Finally, no scientific evidence supports the idea that wood pellet production contributes to substantial economic growth in rural communities. Instead, the industry stands to exploit California forests and communities. Nick Jocelyn, a rural county resident, whom GSNR's Lassen facility would impact, states plainly citing a facility of such a size in a small town is completely irresponsible. The facility would run 24 hours daily with noise, lighting, dust, and toxic fumes. These are not the kinds of jobs that rural communities deserve. They are extremely dangerous working conditions. To put a finer point on this, GSNR opposed the prevailing wage bill for forest projects in 2022, illustrating they aren't serious about supporting good-paying jobs for California. Coronado Beach RAWSEP view in California. Solar stoves and stoves running on batteries could cook food better than wood-burning fires. The only food reliably heated by wood fires is melted marshmallows. Not worth fighting for, folks. This policy allowing wood-burning fires was not implemented to protect human health, but was implemented despite the numerous scientific, medical, and statistical studies that show that wood burning emits health-denying PM2.5 particulate matter of 2.5 micrometer size, the perfect size to infiltrate the human lung, setting off a cascade of human health problems and early deaths. Wood burning emits 450 times the PM2.5 as the fossil fuel. Natural gas burning wood burning emits 8 times the PM2.5 and CO2 as the fossil fuel coal burning. From the article headline, New Beach Fire Policy on Coronado's South Beach takes effect July 18, 2024. Coronado times on North Beach and Central Beach. Wood burning and charcoal fires in city-approved fire pits or in personal-approved fire devices are permitted. Fire 5 Idaho Bench Lake Fire, estimated to have grown to 1,275 acres. Environment Express.com. Idaho Mountain Express low-intensity burning will contribute to a mosaic burn where many 6 Idaho Online maps show exactly where Idaho wildfire smoke is from. Idaho statesman smoke in the air. The advisories note where outdoor burning and wood stove or fireplace burning are disallowed in each county. The DQ issued a 7 New York air quality health advisory issued for New York City Metro and Lower Hudson Valley. New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. New York Gov. PM2.5 such as smoking. Additional information on ozone and PM2.5 is available on DEC's website and on DOH's website. Ozone/PM2.5. A new DEC 8th Texas San Antonio RAWSEP view. The source of the pollution was a commercial wood burning grill. The near neighbors wouldn't have complained if they didn't experience the adverse health effects of breathing in wood smoke. PM2.5 instead of clean air, etc. A PM2.5 monitor could be used as evidence of unnecessary pollution above national ambient air quality standards or above World Health Organization levels in the yards of near neighbors, which sickens the near neighbors. If the near neighbors are adequately represented legally in this dispute over unnecessary risks to human health and lives, there are clean ways to provide nourishing food. Spices can take the place of cancer-causing smoke unnecessarily embedded in food. From the article headline, excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to residents against wood smoke emission. Particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. River Walk Restaurants wood-burning grill shutdown sparks suit. San Antonio Express News. The alleged source of the smoke and odors, a wood-burning grill at the Landress restaurant inside the Thompson San Antonio Riverwalk, had to shut down 9 Utah Antelope Island, placed under Stage 2 fire restriction as Utah continues to burn. ABC 4 Utah wood-burning stoves are strictly prohibited. Visitors to the state park are also not allowed to smoke unless inside an enclosed car, trailer, or tin. Vermont Letters to the editor, July 17, 2024, 7 days. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to residents against wood smoke emission. Particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. RAWSEP view. It is implied that wood burning is clean because it is theoretically renewable. From the article, when will we wake up to the fact that burning wood pollutes our air? A resident of Calais, no better advice. I'm afraid. Myth or McNeil. It is unfortunate that in their letter of June 26, 2 writers perpetuate the myth that renewable equates with environmentally responsible. Feedback utilities invest in renewables, implying that because Burlington Electric Department's electricity is renewable, it is somehow clean or environmentally responsible, is preposterous. The wood-burning McNeil generating station, the primary source of electricity for Burlington Electric, is the biggest point source air polluter in the state despite the fact that wood is renewable. When will we wake up to the fact that burning wood pollutes our air? A resident of Calais Vermont 11, Australia. Perth Bushfire smoke triggers surge in Perth Hospital Visits. Mirage News. The full paper titled Impact of Elevated Fine Particulate Matter PM2.5 During Landscape Fire Events on Cardiorespiratory Hospital Admissions in 12 Ireland. Burning coal peat and wood is associated with poor mental health. ESRI finds the Irish Times burning solid fuels such as coal peat and wood for heat over a long period is associated with poor mental health and Well-being in older people. 13 United Kingdom Birmingham Fire breaks out at Birmingham Industrial Park near Fort Dunlop. BBC firefighters are tackling a blaze at a factory in Birmingham with billowing black smoke visible across the city. Wood Lane in Erdington near the 14 Pakistan PM2.5 and infants report unveils air pollution's toll on infants. The Express Tribune early exposure to high levels of PM2.5. Pakistan is already the second most air-polluted country in the world with average 15 PM2.5 and COPD air pollution and ECOPT higher pollutant levels linked to Exacerbation Onset Pulmonology Advisor fine particulate matter PM2.5 16 PM2.5 and cerebral palsy prenatal fine particulate matter exposure linked to Cerebral Palsy Neurology Advisor. In the study population, there was no specific window of susceptibility noted for prenatal PM2.5 exposure and CP17 PM2.5 and lupus. Greater risk of systemic lupus erythematosus with long-term air pollution exposure. Wire News. The air pollutants assessed were fine particulate matter with a diameter of 2.5 micrometer PM2.5.